How are we doing today, children? If I was to ask you, what does the Sabbath mean to you? What would you say?
Day of rest.
Day of rest. Anything else? That's what it means to you? That works. You know, God gave us the Sabbath for a specific reason. Some kids think, well, the Sabbath, I go home and I watch my parents sleep. Or something else. God gave us the Sabbath for a specific reason. When my kids were growing up, for the Sabbath, I would always try to point them to nature and to God's creation. So every seventh day, we'd look at God's creation, realize what the Sabbath is all about. It's more than just sleeping. And this is about God's wonderful creation, his animals. How many like going to the zoo? You like going to the zoo? What is your favorite thing at the zoo, your animal?
The elephants.
The elephants. Anything else? No? Tigers? Yeah. You know, when you go to the zoo and you see all these animals that God has made, it really makes you think how powerful our God is to create all these wonderful animals for us. I used to take my girls to the zoo a lot when they were young. And this is a story about my oldest daughter. We were where the lions, they feed the lions. You know in the Bible that Jesus is called a lion? Do you know that? It represents him as a lion. You know who else is represented as a lion? Did I hear that? Satan. What's interesting, as we were looking at these lions, it was feeding time. And there was a lot of lions. And my daughter was so fascinated with these lions, she's looking at them, and I kind of look over her hand, and I'm watching her. And she was just slowly wandering away from me, closer and closer and closer to the lions. And you know what happened next? One lion started roaring. Another lion started roaring. Before long, all the lions were roaring at the same time. It was the most deafening sound I had ever heard. It was absolutely incredible. And I'm looking at my daughter. I'm watching what she's doing. Now, instead of being in awe of what she's watching, now she's afraid. And I'm looking at her, and I'm watching her. And she looks around. She starts crying. She can't see Daddy. She's crying. Where's my daddy? And I'm looking at her, and a spiritual application came to my mind. If we don't stay close to our Father or to our mommy, and when we drift away and we're not following them, we can become scared. Because the enemy will start roaring and start making us afraid. And as I looked at my daughter, I went up and I grabbed her hand, and she looked up and she was so happy to see me. So we have to be careful. Whenever we hear that lion roar, in our minds, we come back to our Father, our Heavenly Father, and He's always there to take us by the hand, and comfort us. Okay? You go back to your seats. Take up the offering.